Hi, Teresa. I'm Terry Kinney with thehollywoodtimes.net, and I'm so glad to be here talking to you about your new
Such a
feature
pleasure.
film. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your film?
My name is Theresa Demarest. I'm the filmmaker and executive producer of Throwaway Horses. Most people don't know what's going on with horses. And as I have learned with my own horse, I met a lot of mean horses, kind horses, wonderful horses, race horses, draft horses. I met mean people, kind people. The horses are incredible. And so I wanted the general public to know what was going on with horses.
I watched it and was heartwarmed and saddened. I think you get that message across, but I think that this is an important documentary, and I'm glad you are at La Femme Fest, and I want it to reach larger audiences. So I appreciate you making it. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about the message of it. Of course, I was drawn to the story of Amira and her potential
Yes,
caretaker,
yes,
the
yes.
Iraqi vet. That was a beautiful story to watch unfold, and both the vet and Amira, who is a beautiful, dappled horse with lots of past experience that is not positive, but she's now found a home and they are working together to rebuild and giving therapy to each other.
They're incredible, those two.
Oh, good. Good
Yeah,
to hear it.
yeah.
As an animal lover, I feel like I'm in tune with the animal social situation and what threatens them, and mostly people in the environment. But I wasn't aware of how dire it is for horses who don't have a place or are
No.
not thoroughbreds or not well trained or not social. So I'm glad to learn that. I'm not going to give any stats away or anything. I just think that people should watch this. And I was heartened to see that there are very good rescue efforts and rehabilitation efforts that need our support. And it educated me because something that we think is helping, like buying off the feedlots, may not be, because as one rescuer said, it just puts money in the pocket of these kill
Mhm.
lots. That being said, tell me how you adopted the tone of educating us as viewers, pulling at our emotion, telling us the facts, but also giving us hope enough that the message will go through. I bet that was hard.
What when I got my horse Taya. And they when a horse bucks somebody off, that's not an accident. If I came up to you and just forced myself on you, you'd push me away probably.
Sure.
So what I had to do when I first went to buy my horse, she was 8 months old, and the people that I bought her from just wanted me to pay them a lot of money to win trophies and do things, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to learn natural horsemanship, and so I transferred to a different barn that I learned her language. Horses, you stand next to them. When I stand next to my horse, she's very quiet. If you were to watch us, you wouldn't think anything was going on. She is a chatty Cathy. And I've learned to understand her through body language. And I've lost my train of thought a little bit, but the way that I wanted to tell the story, I learned to tell the story is that I didn't know her language. And it took me a long time to learn her language. And once I did this, she's one of the hottest breeds there is, highly athletic, rear at a second's notice. And it took me a long time to gain her trust. I had to learn her language, which meant that when we're in horses, if she moves my feet, she's in charge. So I had to learn to stand really still while she's rearing because she didn't trust me. Horses follow one leader and only one leader. And if they determine that you are mean, unfair, untrustworthy, whatever it is that frightens them about you, they're going to kick you in the head and take off if they can. And
Because
it
they're
took,
prey.
yes, yes, we're predators. I might as well be an alligator walking up to her with a noose and say, so I wanted to make this film for people who didn't know anything about horses because when I got my horse, I didn't know anything about horses. And we don't ride them to school anymore. We don't get the buggy and throw it in we don't use them to work on the farm for the most part. And so people have forgotten.
Yes.
There are breeders who will breed for a particular color. The horse doesn't come out that color, so they throw them away. They end up in places where that are not safe for them.
Yes. Glad that you brought that to our attention. The message that I got from some of the people that you interviewed in the film was that there's a language that we have to learn, or anyone
Yeah,
working with horses or being a friend of the horse or observing or working around the horse
right.
needs to know that language, and that makes for a responsible leader
It
or
take Yeah, it takes a lot of courage because as a young horse, she saw me as an idiot. And so when I would come on the scene, she would rear. She's rearing because she's frightened of me. She doesn't see any leaders here. And she
uh-huh.
was young. And so, in order to become her leader, my natural horsemanship trainers, we got a 20-foot line, and I would come in and she would start rearing because this is a dope with a rope. And I had to learn to stand still in one place while she's rearing. Otherwise, it would take me an hour to get her to calm down. But the trainer told me, stand still, don't move your feet, because that's her body language. If you don't move my feet, when she's being crazy, she'll eventually, and she did, come down, put her nose to the ground, look up at me with two ears and say, okay, now what was it that you said?
Mm,
Because I didn't move my feet.
I see.
Okay, horses in the field, the leader is the one who can move the other's feet. This has actually helped me with people.
I know, I was thinking a lot of times in your film, I thought same thing with people. Some of the
Yeah.
interviewees were saying that talking about a horse, this horse has been, he's not a bad horse. He just didn't get the training and the support that he needed growing up. He or she needed growing up. And I thought, gosh, it's the same as people. And it
Right.
was also interesting, and I think about this with people as well, is an isolated horse who grew up isolated, who's never
Mhm.
been in a herd,
Wow. Wow.
does not know those social cues. Once she gets in a herd, is just erratic and doesn't play by the rules and gets beat up because she's
Yes.
not responding to normal communications. Like,
Raisin, that racehorse was like that.
yes,
And we talk a little bit about that. We
yes.
do a story about a woman who was born and raised in a small racehorse family in Minnesota. And Raisin story was very sad and difficult because their racehorses, they're left alone. And people go to buy a racehorse from a feedlot or from the racetrack. You can go to some racetracks and buy a racehorse for $1. You get them home, and if you don't know a horse's language, that horse has been trained. As soon as they hear a very loud sound, they're going to run 300 miles an hour
Oh,
and not look
sure.
back. Not look
Right.
back. It takes a lot of learning the language. First, you have to convince him that you're not going to eat him today.
Today. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's been quite a journey and has helped me actually in my personal life, even though my horse now, I can call her from 70 acres out, but I could just call her name and she'll come running. But I better have something interesting to do.
I'm going to take a moment and mention that story that you've experienced and created called A Herd of Two.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I got into filming when I first got my horse. I got a camera and I started taking movies of her. And then I just decided I'm gonna tell her life stories. I have a movie on Vimeo called A Herd of Two. And
okay,
it's
there's
and
where
it's
we can
this
source it.
yes, you can go to
I'm
Vimeo.
vi-
It's a little short movie of 30 minutes. And one of the members of my band, I said, would you come and help me write the music for this thing? And I didn't send him sheet music. What I did was send him sequences from the film of a particular horse, like
Uh-huh.
Raisin or Amira, and he
Uh-huh.
would write the music specific for that horse and those people. And it was quite a process that we
That
were
is
able to use.
special.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very nice, Teresa.
yeah, thank you.
I know you're showing at Les Femme Fest this week, starting this weekend.
The festival. I'm
Yeah.
very amazed. The people at La Femme, they found me in 2010, 11, 12 at this funky festival. And they were just getting started and they said, we're going to help her. And so they helped me with Keiko. And we eventually had the showing of Keiko at the Grumman Theater in Hollywood. And it was incredible. And so when this movie came out, they just grabbed it and they've grown so much. And I have grown so much. And they've become so savvy about filmmakers and film. I'm just so impressed. This is such a difference than when they first started.
Yeah, oh, good. That's really great to hear. And
Yeah.
the filmmakers in the fest, including yours, are just getting so much more exposure with
Oh,
the live events and
wow. Yeah.
being able to attend virtually as well as going to the
Right.
Regal Theater in Los Angeles. Great. Tell us the name of your site so our viewers can go there.
It's called throwawayhorses.com. When people watch the movie, they realize that horses are so special because and they're different than any other animal I've ever known. And I just went to this film festival in Wyoming and there was a film there and they talked about the healing aspects of horses. And there are that people can go to a horse and be almost suicidal and start spending time with a horse, and all of a sudden their whole life changes.
Why do you
Because,
think that is? I have a friend, Chloe, that does this work
oh,
with veterans and people in recovery and
with horses?
yes, it's horse
Yes.
therapy, equine
Horses
therapy.
they have a unique ability that I've never met. I've had dogs and cats and birds and I've been around all different kinds of animals, but horses are different. And when you put your hands on a horse, I know this sounds crazy, but it's almost like a big bubble goes around you and it's just you and that horse. There can be lots of other things going on, but it's just that horse's life depends on you. And what you don't realize is that your life depends on the horse
Wow.
too. It goes both ways. And I think this is something unique to horses. There are counselors now that will bring a cot out in the middle of their herd and no gates, no nothing, and and lay the person who's ill either social psychologically or actually physically and just set them there and just wait. And the horses will come, put their heads on the person's chest, lift their head, nudge them, stretch, hang with them. And there's nothing you go, oh my God. And these horses are all of a sudden then stand around the person. This is not, they're not trained to do this. They just do it. And
Fascinating.
yeah, and I saw this one thing in this film that I saw. The horse was really concentrating on this person's illness or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden just had to stretch. And he stretched his front legs out. You see your dog stretch and they put their
I
butt
picture
up in
it.
the air. The horse did that and then went back. The horses, they know us. They know us.
So
And
interesting.
yeah, we just need to take the time to listen.
Yes,
We're not very good
yes.
listeners.
They're so special,
Yeah.
and you bring that to light. And now we'd like to take the time to view your film, listen to your message, and I thank you for it. Thank you for your time here
Oh,
today
sure.
with us. Thank you too.
And thank you for watching my film. Oh, Catherine Gregory from the Colorado Horse Rescue. She's been a real Dr. Spock, my first lieutenant. She has a lot of experience as CSO, CFO, head of organization, CEO. And she's been a champion for us. And all of the horse rescues are wonderful. She's the one at the Colorado Horse Rescue.
Oh, have a beautiful festival.
Thank you.
You're
And thank you for
welcome.
interviewing me. And I'm sorry it took me, I didn't realize I just had to wait for you. I thought I wasn't,
Oh, yeah, that can be confusing.
I
Yeah.
just thought, oh my God, I'm not in the right place.
Thanks, Teresa. Appreciate your
Okay.
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.